Hi, everybody. We are live, and it is that time of month again. It is time for another Square Fit Show, and we've got a great episode for you. That's not going to be very long today. We are going to take a little bit of time and give you the history of Square Fit Show. We actually were thinking that we allude to the story and sometimes we tell little bits of it, but Lindsay and I, one of my partners, we decided we're going to go on today after we speak with one of our newest and an artist that has never been in the show before. We're going to ask her a bunch of questions about herself and Square Fit Show, and then Lindsay and I are going to tell you all of the antidotes and fun things about Square Fit Show that you might never have known. So the Square Fit Show Autumn Edition is going live Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The preview starts tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So what I'd love for you to do is, if you haven't signed up at squarefitshow.com, you will find that if you go there and you register at squarefitshow.com for our newsletter, you will get the preview email today with the password, because it's password protected. You can't just get in and see it. It's 48-hour preview. So you can go in and you can check out what you might want to buy. We at Square Fit Show have a really neat concept. Every piece is 12 by 12. Every piece goes for 350 Canadian or 300 US. We have artists from Canada and the US. Sometimes even we've had Dubai and India and the UK. And it is a really great opportunity for us to bring artists to you as collectors, and for you collectors to find artists that you will fall in love with. And oh my goodness, the experience that we've had in, I think, the 4 years that we've been on has been amazing. We've crossed a few thresholds. Lindsay and I will talk about that. But one of the biggest thresholds we crossed, and I'll let it out here, is that we've passed the $1.5 million mark of sales. We've sold $1.5 million worth of 12 by 12 paintings. Guys, that's amazing. That's artist success all over the place. So I think I've done the housekeeping. Sign up for squarefitshow.com, the newsletter, and you'll get the 48-hour preview. The show goes live at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, September 11th on Thursday night. And the pieces are all the same price. And so the show is very, very fast paced. So a lot of the sales happen in the first 5 minutes. So we always advise that you shop one at a time. If you start browsing around and put pieces in your cart, somebody could come and take those right out of your cart. So putting it in your cart does not reserve it for you. You might want to buy it one at a time, unless you're a risk taker. So feel free. If you're a risk taker, that's okay. And you can buy it one at a time. But just so you know, it's fast. A lot of people sell out in the first 5 minutes, and it's a real joy to see people collect and for the artists to move their awesome work. So that said, I'm going to bring on the artist of the day, and her name is Haley Coombs. So come on board, Haley. Hi.
Hey.
How are you, Haley?
I am doing great. I'm happy to be here.
You are doing great. So I have a bunch of questions for you, Haley.
I'm ready.
Okay. This is Haley's very first Square Fit show. So Haley, a couple of questions. Who are you? Where do you live and paint? And are you in any galleries?
I'm Haley Combs. I am based in the Appalachian Mountains in West Virginia. If you've ever heard the song Country Roads, that's about
That's
West
where you are. Yeah.
Virginia. So it's a lot of beautiful scenery. And when I got picked for autumn, I was so excited because people come from all over to see our leaves change in West Virginia.
Okay. In the
So
Appalachians.
very pretty place. So I was very excited to get to do the autumn show. So I just got accepted a Saturday. So very new. I'm in a gallery and just got into West Virginia gallery.
Oh my goodness. So this is a brand new thing.
Yeah. So I'm in a place called Tamarack. It's houses a lot of artisanal makers and artists of West Virginia. And it's a really special place. So I just got in there Saturday. So I'm excited to get started there.
And where can we find you on Instagram and your website?
I am Haley Combs Art,
Mm-hmm.
and my website is
Haley
haleycombsart.com. So
Combs Art.
easy to find.
That is so wonderful. Now, Haley, I believe that Squarefoot Show has been going, is it 4 years, Lindsay? 4 years. Lindsay's going to be on in a minute. I'm talking to the invisible person out there, but we've been 4 years. So when did you first hear about Squarefoot Show?
It was pretty much almost 4 years ago. I have
Okay.
been watching, and it's been a dream to be in the show. So this is
Oh,
a big deal for me.
that is so wonderful. So yeah, we started Squarefoot Show way up here in Canada. I'm in Hamilton, Ontario, and I used to do the show in my gallery. It was an in-person show, and when COVID hit, we had to do a big pivot, and that's when it all came together. And I'll be talking about that with Lindsay. So, do you have any samples of the pieces you're putting in?
Yep, I do. Let me get it for you. Here's this one.
Oh, okay. So you're walking a country road in the Appalachians.
It's
I
called,
love the colors in that. It's very unique. Your purples and grays and blues versus just ochres and oranges.
yeah, I'm a color girl. So
Yeah.
but it's called Blush Path. But
Oh,
it's
it's lovely.
oh, thank you. I have this one now. This one's more of a that has the mountains in the background.
Oh, great. Yeah, you've really captured distance.
Thank you.
That is wonderful. How many pieces did you put in?
Four.
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 Deborah
And
Burton, she says it's beautiful, and she's from Asheville, North Carolina. I wonder if she has
I'm
similar
actually
landscape.
this week. So
You're going to Asheville?
yeah, it's my husband's taking me for anniversary gift.
Do
So
you know Deborah?
oh, Deborah, can we hang out? So and then this is near Seneca Rocks.
Oh, I love it.
But everything turns bright red in the fall there. So
And you said that when we were chatting before that people come to where you are, the tourists come.
yeah, West Virginia is beautiful in the fall, and we have like big celebrations in the fall. That they have one that people do skydiving and jump off bridges, these huge bridges,
Oh
and
gosh.
leaves. I mean, that's not my thing, but
Yeah.
but it's just a lot of river running and all that. It's a beautiful area.
Yeah. Oh, that's absolutely marvelous. So I'm going to wish you the best of luck, Haley. And make sure you send out an email. So this is my artist tip: send out an email to all of your newsletter list, and make sure people know where they can find you. And it's going to be really exciting. And we actually have another pop-up guests. We've got Angel Cox coming up next. And before I get to Lindsay, so we're really thrilled that you're part of the show. You haven't seen the preview yet, right? Because we haven't sent it out. So people have to sign up to get that password. When you do, you're going to be wowed by the collection of the art that you're showing with. And we're really honored to have you. And I'm proud to be showing a few pieces of my own with you.
Oh, same here. And I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All
Bye.
right. Bye. All right. We're going to pull Angel up to the stage. Hi, Angel.
Hi, Julia. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you again. We are throwing together a really fun live today. Lindsay and I, as soon as you and I finish chatting, Lindsay and I are going to tell the whole story of Squarefoot Show. We might even tell some secrets. We don't know. But we're going to talk about how it started and some of the mistakes we made, and then how it built to this wonderful community that we're doing. So as I am saying that, that's triggering me to say, if you're an artist, apply at squarefootshow.com. If you're a collector, sign up at squarefootshow.com so that you can get the 48-hour preview. So Angel, who are you? Where are you? What do you do? And are you in any galleries?
Yes, I'm in Florida, Ocala, kind of central Florida. I was in a gallery on Anna Maria Island for about 3 years. And just because my mom ended up moving, I moved my stuff. And right now, my friend and I are looking into doing some pop-ups.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm
Brilliant.
excited about that. But I love your story of your gallery, and it's very inspiring for us artists. I want you to know that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Square Foot Show has really built a lot and has actually got quite a few of our artists who emerged with Square Foot Show into galleries. I know that there are galleries that have told me that they watched the Square Foot Show to see new talent.
I love that.
Yeah, it's very exciting. And so what do you paint?
I paint lots of different things. Beach scenes. I love the beach. I love trees. I've done some people, some portraits, some florals.
Huh?
So I hope it's not too broad. I'm just trying to narrow down what exactly is my niche.
Well, I always find like I paint all those things as well, but you can tell that they're mine because of the style. I think that's the cohesive thing for artists, is to have a cohesive body of work. It's not necessarily that they only have to paint trees or yellow flowers or whatever. They can paint whatever they want, but if they have it cohesive, the difficulty is, and I did this mistake years ago, I put up a show. I paid to get into a show, and I put up a show of watercolors, pen and ink, pencil, and acrylic. All of those things are great lanes. But I think if you're presenting them, you do all watercolor, all pencil, or all. As long as you can get a cohesive look where somebody says, that's an Angel Cox, I think you're doing fine.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Do you have a sample?
I would like to loosen up a bit sometimes.
Oh, well, that's fine.
I have a graphic arts background, and so I catch myself being a little OCD about things. But this is one called Harvest.
Oh, that's so sweet. Certainly autumn.
Yeah, we traveled to Michigan to see family.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you have all that down in Florida?
We do have hay fields, believe it or not, and we have cattle. And we have horse farms, but that's more of a Michigan photo that I found.
Lovely, lovely, absolutely.
Canoe, I think I named that one Canoe Day.
You can feel the crispness when you're out there canoeing in
this
fall.
one, I've always loved sheep. We don't have any sheep, but I've always loved them.
So that's so fun.
Yeah, different family members will send me photos of sheep when they go to sheep farms.
That's so cute. When you said you were in a gallery in Anna Maria Island, I've only been there once, but I went to all the galleries there. So maybe I saw your work.
Oh, maybe. Years ago. I love that you've been there.
Yeah. Oh, it's a beautiful island.
And you might remember this one was the one I submitted to.
Yep. That's the one that we juried you in from.
Mm-hmm. Yes. My dad had a tractor. We didn't have a farm, but we had a large garden growing up, and I have great memories riding the tractor with him.
It was that big that you had a tractor.
Yeah, it wasn't a huge tractor, but yeah, it's a pretty big garden. Good.
All right. Well, do you have your eye on any artists yourself? Because artists are collectors.
Oh, I love I just found you maybe 4 months ago, and I love the variety. That's what makes me excited. I hope others love that too.
Well, and here's the thing. If people sign up for our newsletter, Ruth Log, the cover photo for this show, they get to win it. So that's a value of $350. They get a 12 by 12 by signing up, and they are going to win that piece. So like every month that we do this, we give away a piece, and it's so fun. And you don't have to sign up every month. It's just once you're on the list, we choose from that whole list. So
I love that.
Angel, thanks for being on. Best of luck. Make sure you do all your marketing, send out your emails, put up your Instagram, and go and like and comment on everybody's posts. If you are a collector or a supporter of the arts, just by going on to Square for Show on Instagram and liking and commenting and saving, that is a huge support. Even if you can't buy, that is a huge support to the arts because the algorithm starts spinning it out. So,
Yeah.
all right, Angel,
Will
good
do.
luck.
Thank you, Julia. Have a
All
great
right.
day.
Have fun. All right, there's Lindsay.
Hi.
Hi, Lindsay. How are
Hi.
you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Hey, everybody. Lindsay is my partner. She's one of four. We have four people that run Squarefoot Show, and Lindsay has been there since the beginning. But Lindsay used to work for me rather than work with me. So Lindsay used to work for a marketing firm that I used, and she would help me with all sorts of stuff. And the first time we did an online Squarefoot show was during COVID. Do you remember that, Lindsay?
Yes, you used to squeeze, I think, dozens, if not hundreds of people into your little studio, and you said, we can't do that anymore. How can we take the show online? So that's really when I got pulled in to help.
That's right.
help
So we
Eli.
had, I always had, and Lindsay would know about the show because I would put it on and she followed, she worked with me. So she knew I was doing it. I would have about 200 paintings in my little studio, 12 by 12s. And I had an 11-foot wide by 45-foot studio, and about 75 people would squeeze in and they'd literally take the paintings off the wall and buy them. And I had built that over 5 years. So that had gotten a good reputation. I had started it out with just my own work, about 30 to 40 pieces of my own work, and then thought that's not sustainable. I can't keep doing that. And I started adding and bringing in artists that were local, and then some that I started meeting on Instagram and things like that. And people would ask, because I'd post, I loved social media and I loved Instagram. So I would post that I'm having the show, and collectors would say, how come we can't buy? So I don't know if you remember, Lindsay, I was so inept back then. I had no idea. My website did not have e-commerce.
Yeah.
I don't even know what were we marketing then.
You were blogging. You were writing some blogs, I think.
Yeah. And then when COVID hit, I said, well, we can't have anybody in. Oh, the thought I was going to say is we would have the show, and after opening night, I would consolidate everything that was left on the wall, and I'd take a photo and post it. And people were screenshotting, circling what they wanted, transferring me, and then I'd try to get it off the wall before anybody else, it was crazy. Yeah. So we thought, okay, let's pivot. Yeah. And we took it online. Yeah. So you all of a sudden got a bigger job, because at that point you were still working for me.
Yeah. And so my job was kind of figuring out, how are we going to have these artists send us their information? How do we put this online? I think at that time we were getting their bio, because we wanted the buyers to know who the artists that they were buying from, and how are we going to get their files of their images. I think we allowed them to send more than one image at the time. I can't remember. That was a very long time ago, but
it was. And we didn't have
it all organized.
And we didn't have Squarefoot Show Instagram, because this was still the Julia Veenstra.
Your show.
Yeah,
it was all your show.
And so I must have been posting their work on my feed, right? So people must have thought I was a schizophrenic artist, right? Like with so many different talents. And but we figured it out and we put it online, but we only used WordPress. Yeah. Because
I don't remember how big your email list was, but it was a few thousand people. And
my email list was doing pretty good. But I think either you asked me or Elias, our other partner, said, well, how many people do you think are going to shop?
Yeah.
And I said, well, we have 75 people who line up. And I bet you there's another 50 or so that have, kind of texted or emailed and said, I'd like to do it, like to be able to buy. And I said, so maybe 150 people might shop. And I was really excited because I thought, we have about 200 paintings because we had done the work. We had to get them to send all the pictures. So we at least had figured out we didn't want their physical paintings.
Yeah.
We
They
had
were gonna
figured
be
that
different
part
things.
out. We
Mhm.
thought we don't need to have their physical paintings because
Mhm.
nobody can come see them.
Yeah.
Right. And then we thought they get to send out and we'll pay them shipping to send it out from their house. So that was a unique thing too. So nobody sent me. So we learned a lot there. Oh my goodness, Lindsay, tell us about like photos that we'd get.
Photos of the art?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think at the time we were allowing artists to put one up to 5 pieces, and so there were some artists that put in 1 piece and some artists that put in 5, and it was just a lot to organize. And I think a lot of artists didn't well, we now are very good at explaining, like, this is the right way to take a photo of your work.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it needs to be cropped to a square, because if it's not, it's going to be stretched funny and it's not going to look right.
Yeah.
So now that we have our processes in place, we always make sure to let our artists know that if your artwork is photographed well, it's going to sell. It's going to sell faster. But yeah, so the night that it launched, everything was looking really, really good.
Yeah.
And then I don't remember the exact numbers, but it was thousands
Of people hit the site. I live in Ontario and I was in Alberta visiting my son and his family, and we had gone out for dinner. And I was like, oh, well, I'll keep an eye on it, on my phone. The show went live. And then my phone started ringing and ringing and ringing, and email after email. And I was like, what is happening? And the show went live and then it crashed. Yeah. Remember? It totally crashed. And so many people are like, I had that painting in my cart. Now it's gone. You crashed. And I felt so bad. Then I went out to the parking lot and I did a live.
Yes, you did a live, which is why we do these lives now.
Yeah. I went out to the parking lot and I simply, because I was getting DMs through Instagram, like, you're down, it's crashed. And you guys, it was you and Elias. I don't know if Brock must have been helping because he worked for you guys too. And you were trying to get it back up. So
I think we had to go buy a big, like, buy more. I don't even know, because this is not the side of
bandwidth or whatever.
We had to go buy a larger,
like immediately, like that night.
And it took us, we had to pay for more space on WordPress and kind of upgrade the shop, and so it took us about an hour, I think, to get the shop live again, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. So I had to go live, and I'm like, guys, you guys are crashing the internet. I tried to make it really fun and light, and people got it. People understood that we just weren't prepared. I mean, I was blown away. I felt so, well, first scrambled, but there's nothing I can do because I'm the artist. I'm an artist, and I didn't do all this stuff. It was Lindsay and Eli and Brock that were probably like pulling their hair out, trying to get this to work. Never experienced anything like this. And I went live and I said, just be patient. We're going to do our best. We're going to try. So it all calmed down. Within an hour or two, everything was okay, and people were shopping, and everybody was buying. They were buying, and we could not believe it. And I remember Lindsay going to bed thinking maybe we had even sold out. I don't know, but we had almost sold out. So I knew we had like 12 left. And say we started with 200. So that meant we sold 188 paintings. Craziness, 188 paintings. Then I went to bed, and I like math, and I like it when we sell stuff. So I was doing, like, I checked the bank account or whatever it was that I was able to check to see how much money was in there. And then I was dividing it by 250 plus tax, whatever. And I'm like, there's too much money in there. Do you remember that? And I was like, there's too much money in my bank account. So the next morning I phoned Elias and I said, there's too much money. Why is there
What happened?
this much money? What
Yeah.
happened?
Yeah.
And I think you discovered that we had oversold between 25 and 30 pieces.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, some of the artists some of the big artists had only put in one piece,
Yeah.
and that's why we don't allow that anymore. But some of the single pieces had sold, 5-6 times.
Yeah, because the WordPress wasn't savvy enough to recognize milliseconds, right?
Yeah. Yeah. WordPress just isn't fast enough for that type of show, we found out.
So the next day, Lindsay had to compile a list. I think I sold 7 extra pieces. And I know there was an artist, I think her name was Julie Burke, and she sold 5 extra. And Julie DeBoer, all the Julies sold quite a bit. And Julie DeBoer sold a whole bunch. So number one, before we went back to the customers, I had to go to the artists. So I'm on the phone and with all these artists saying, all right, here's the deal. We sold 5 more of that same painting, or 6 more, or 3 more. And people were thrilled. They were thrilled because their businesses had been shut down too during COVID, right? So I asked them, before I go to the customer, do you have other 12 by 12s that you can offer them? Or are you willing to repaint a version if they're willing to have a repainted version?
Yeah.
And all the artists said, of course we are. And then I went to all the clients and they were over the top excited that they were, number one, going to get a piece, and number two, that these artists were seeing such success during this time. Only one person didn't want, if it wasn't the one that they had ordered, they weren't sure that they wanted it, and we refunded them, and that was just fine. And it was such a treat to be able to come back and say, wow, what a response for artists across. And it was at the time, would it have been only Canadians?
I think there were some Americans in the show.
Yeah, were there some
there were.
Americans?
Yeah.
So is there the next day, I'm driving then from Alberta, I'm driving back down into BC. And I think you and Elias and Brock had a brief conversation, and then called me, and Eli said, hey, guess what I think we should do? And I said, what should we do? And he said, I think we should do, and he already told, he goes, Lindsay and I bought squarefootshow.com. We bought,
got the
Instagram and Facebook. And let's make a company.
Yeah, let's form a partnership.
Let's form a partnership.
Yeah,
let's make it happen.
Yeah.
So then we said, okay, let's do that. That's pretty exciting. So that was something to really think about. How many shows did we do that first year? Did we just do one more then? Because that would have been in December.
I think that was late. That was late 2020, and so we formed Squarefoot Show, and we did. I think we only did 3 in 2021.
Yeah.
And then we did 6 in 2022. I can pull it up, but
I think we did 6 for 2 years, maybe.
I think we did 6 for 2 years. Yeah.
And now we're doing
monthly.
And we have now, how many artists are on our application list? Around it's about 3,000. I think it's about 3,500. 3,500. So we had to go from a show that I juried.
Yeah, and it was local, right? It was mostly local.
It was local, but because of COVID, I expanded to artists across the country because I was like, well, we can. They're just shipping from wherever, right? So the concept was great. So number one, it was a show that I didn't have to get the art from the artist. The artist could just hold on to them and just send us good images, and they could ship their own. So then if they didn't sell it, they didn't have to ship it. There was no, loss. Yeah. And we started with Squarefoot Show Instagram, that's when we started then promoting and using bios and doing all that. And we grew over there so fast. It was really lovely to see. People were hungry to see new work and hungry to be part of a show. And the first shows I juried fully. So it became a bit of what kind of stuff Julia liked. So we decided, well, we can't just do that. That you started jurying and Eli started jurying and Brock started jurying. And then we thought, well, we need to expand that even more. So now we have six or seven artists who are have been faithful to Square Foot Show for so many years, have been in lots of shows, and they jury with us. So now they'll get, oh my gosh, like 600 applicants for each show, or that we have to look through, and we choose 40 per show.
Yeah, we invite about 40 per show, and we get about 30 or so that accept. And you forgot, we also have invited headliners. So we started that pretty early.
Yeah.
I'm looking at our list now. We started headliners that first year. So August of 2021, our second show as Square Foot Show, we had a headliner. And we've kind of changed that model a little bit too, because they're now bringing 10 to 20 of their artists. So it kind of shapes the way the show looks and kind of the style of the show.
That's right. So when there's a headliner, you have to realize that that artist got to jury in and choose their between 10 to 20 artists. And you're right, it does shape a show. It makes it a whole different flavor, which is actually pretty exciting. Mm-hmm. And I think we introduced the headliners strategically, because we were like, here's our scope so far. Maybe we had 400 artists that would apply. We need to expand that. And it certainly worked. We were able to bring on so many new artists. And again, it's an honor to see. So if you're an artist and you have applied and you haven't gone in yet, keep applying. We do look at every application, and we hope to keep expanding. We have dreams and vision how to even make it bigger. Like sometimes, we'll throw it out there, like the Square Foot Show Hamilton, Square Foot Show, or not Hamilton, but Square Foot Show Ontario, Square Foot Show Texas. It is an endless opportunity of what could happen with Square Foot Show.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Did I miss any other major faux pas that we did, or anything? Because we had a few. We had a few where, the type in the name would come out. Like we've had errors, just like everybody else.
Oh yes. No, I think just your first show was the biggest crash, and then switching to Shopify has been much more helpful. I don't think we've sold doubles since your show. Yeah. It's been pretty smooth. But collecting
that's a really fun memory. Like I remember everything about that first show.
Yeah.
Where I was, where the restaurant was. I remember where I was in the mountains when you guys called and proposed doing it. And did I ever dream that we would sell $1.5 million worth of 12 by 12s in 4 years?
Mm-mm.
No. And over what? Almost 4,500 pieces?
Pieces sold?
Yeah.
This says 7,000.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm a year or so behind.
Oh wait, no, sorry, that's pieces total. No, you're right. We've sold 4,341 pieces.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah.
So okay. Well, there's the story of Square Foot Show, and now we do it every month. And at first we were a little scared to go every month. We were like, is it going to be too much? Are people going to get saturated? But you know what? The world is big. And every artist has their collectors, and every artist brings a whole new group in. And what's great about that is every new artist that we have on, like Haley, brand new, brings a whole new group. But that group sees and collects Haley, but also kind of sees these other artists. And the other artists in Haley's group says, oh, I could be, I could apply, and it's possible. And we had to go to once a month so that we could at least have, like, if we only did 4 and we only had 40 to 50 people in, that's only 200 artists. Now we can do what's quick, 12 times 40, 500 artists in a year, right? Is that 48?
Yeah.
Yeah. Around 500 artists that we can bring forth every year. And it's been our pleasure. So themes are at our website. So if you're an artist of a certain type and you want to paint abstract, there might be an abstract. If you're an artist for you want to do landscape only or flowers. Pavana, that's nice. Keep applying and keep working on your craft. Keep working on your craft. And Deborah, what did Deborah say? I wish I was painting full time. Plan to retire next year, so commit more time. Sounds perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you, during COVID, so many artists took up painting. And what is amazing to me is that the artists that were part of Square Foot Show at the beginning are now in several galleries. They're in my gallery. I've got a few that are in my gallery, and the people are following them and bringing them in. So I think that's great. So once again, Square Foot Show goes live not tomorrow, Thursday at 8 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And if you sign up for at squarefootshow.com right now, you'll get the 48-hour preview that goes out tonight at 8 p.m.
Yeah.
So, all right. Thanks, Lindsay.
Yeah,
I think that was fun.
Yeah.
That was fun to tell the story.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
All right.
We'll see you all